There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is, guys. There he is. Nice little pond bass. There he is. Oh, yeah, that's a nice bass right there. Let's get him in the shore. Man, very nice bass, guys. Now that's what the drop shot's all about. Now, right there. Let's not do that, Mr. Bass. Let's just relax for a minute, Mr. Bassy. Ah, oh, God dang it. There goes the hook. Have a look at that, you guys. Nice little pond bass, huh? Not too shabby, you guys. Nice little pond bass on the drop shot. That's what it's all about, folks. Drop shot bass. Nothing beats it. Nothing. Let me get this line off of me here because I think I got a hook in my pants. Which, that's not a good thing. I'm all tangled up here. Jesus. This is terrible, you guys. This is just terrible. This is terrible. Alright, well, it looks like my rod's coming with me so we can get this guy in the water. Bad drop shot bass, you guys. Not too bad. Get him in the water. There he goes. And he took my worm, the little piece of crap. The thing here with the drop shot, speaking of finesse fishing and live bait, is a lot of people are scared to fish this because they don't know how to. Now, I'm going to show you the easiest way to rig this up, and in the video clips of me catching the fish, it's going to show you how I fish it. I got my camera mounted so it's kind of at my rod tip, so you can see the action that I'm giving in the water column that I'm fishing. What you need is an eggplant sinker. This is by Gremlin. You know, they're cheap. You get like 5 for like $2 or something, or like a pack of like 10 for $3-4. This is a Gamakatsu drop shot hook. Now this I really like. I like their hooks. They're very sharp. I have no problem sticking them. No problem sticking or setting. You know, these hooks just, you're not gonna lose them with these hooks. They are razor sharp, and they just stick the bass every time. So this right here is some 10-pound Seeger and Vizix. Now, you ain't gotta use 10-pound. A lot of people are gonna probably say, "Oh, it's too heavy." But where I fish and how I fish, I like that heavier line. I like to get it really down deep in those weeds. Now, most people use about 8-pound, but again, you know, I'm using 10. And it works for me, and I catch a lot of fish, so, you know, I can't complain. Now, a lot of people, too, before we get to the clips, I want to make you guys understand this, because when I first started fishing, finesse at least, you know, I didn't know how to exactly tie up a drop shot the right way. There's all these videos on YouTube, but I couldn't find one that was good for me. My hook would either sit like this, or it would sit like that, and I'd have to retie it. But what you want is you want it to sit at a perfect 90-degree angle like this. So when that bass hits your worm, you bring that rod tip up. That's what happens. It's just a straight hook set. Now, the way I wrap it up, or more or less rig it up, this is your line going to your rod. And this on my, well, this is my right hand, but to you guys, that'll be my left. You want, or well, the camera's facing me. Sorry, that's stupid. That's your right as well. So left side is rod, right side is tag end. Now what you want to do is you want to take this hook and just put the line right through it. Now with the hook sitting like this, with the hook facing towards your rod. And then you're going to take how much ever line you want. I mean, I usually use about like 10 inches, like usually right about here. Depending on where I'm fishing. If I'm fishing like a rocky bottom, you know, it's relatively clear, I'll cut it down a little bit. But if you're fishing like heavy weeds, heavy grass, you know, maybe like a couple extra inches, you know, something like that, you know, something maybe about a foot and a half. It all depends on where you're fishing. But the easiest way that I learned to tie this bad boy up, take your line on the bottom, roll your tag end, and make a loop. And make that loop right by the eye of the hook. So you got something like that. Now the hook right here, the eye of the hook is at my index and my thumb. Now I'm going to grab that loop. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. Then I'm going to take this hook like this. and I'm gonna throw it through that loop 8 times. And make sure that the line going to your rod right here is matched up with that loop. See, that's what happens when you don't have line connected to your rod. It might fall. Now, that ain't going to happen when your line's on your reel because there's something obviously holding it down. But as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm just taking the hook and I'm throwing it through that loop. That's all I'm doing. Now, what you're going to have left is something like this. You're going to have a line going to your main, or you're going to have your main line going to your rod, and you're going to have your tag end. Now, pull down on your tag end, and then pull down on your main line. But be sure that it's all still in loop formation. That way your hook sits at that 90-degree angle you want. And when you're done, you should have something that looks like this. Beautiful. And that's what you want. Now, in my case, because again, I don't have this connected to my rod, this would be my tag end. And from there, all you got to do is take your sinker. Well, I recommend the eggplant sinkers because, you know, they're just versatile. You can use like a little clip-on split shot, but these are just, I don't know, they're just better for me. I got better luck with them. But so that's what's going to happen. Now, granted, this ain't long because, again, I'm not connecting it to anything. But the knot, I don't know if you could see that because it's not really focused in. But that knot helps that hook sit perfect at a 90-degree angle. You don't got to sit there and take your line and pass it back through the hook. It's going to sit perfect every time. So get you an eggplant sinker and a drop shot hook, and you should be alright. Now I'm going to start rolling the clips from our fishing day today. Again, just pond largemouth. Had one that was 2 pounds. Most of them were like a pound, under a pound, nothing too big today. But anyways, I'm going to roll those clips, and thank you for watching. Y'all stay tuned. What's going on, guys? John from All Around England. What's going on, guys? All Around England coming at you, and we're just continuing the segment of the drop shot. This video, again, is just in correlation to how I'm fishing it, catching fish on it. In the previous video within this video, I got the tutorial. If you haven't watched that yet, start at the beginning of the video, and I'll show you how to rig it up, how I fish it. But for now, I'm going to get try to get some bites here. We're just pitching a robo worm. It's a chartreuse in dark green color. We're at a pond, another pond in South Elgin, Illinois. And, you know, this pond holds some pretty decent fish, so hopefully we can get a bite going here. Just pitching on the end of these weed lines, letting it sit for a little bit. Usually they get it on the fall. It's one thing I've noticed about the drop shot. It's on the fall. Really when they hit it coming out of the weeds, watching it drop to the bottom. Water temperature has risen. So I'd say right now we're probably in about 8 feet of water, maybe 7.5. Still fairly shallow though. Oh man, something's down there screwing with it. It's very weedy though too, so really watch my line. My recorder stopped, but anyways, guys, you know, nice little dink bass. I mean, nothing too crazy. I was gonna call it out and call him a big boy, but I knew he was pretty tiny in size. I felt him miss it before. I dragged it right past him, put it in the same spot, and I just, you know, felt him take that tug, and I just set that hook, and is he gonna hit right in the weeds right there? Let's see if he's gonna come up to that patch. Nah, he ain't gonna hit it. There he is. Oh, that's a nicer one too. It's a much nicer one. That's what I'm talking about. Now see, with this set too, or not set, but with this rig, you don't really gotta be super aggressive on the hook set. I mean, the way the hook is presented on the drop shot, I mean, you obviously want to get that hook set in there. You don't want to lose him, but you don't got to be Rambo with it. I mean, it usually sticks them because of how the hook is presented, just like the Nico rig. Like, look at, if you guys can see. I set the hook good, but as you can see right here, that hook went through him. That's a proper hook set. I mean, he set it himself. I felt the tug. I lifted that rod up. Not too heavy again. I didn't Rambo it. But, you know, just the way that hook is presented, I mean, it cracks them. Just sticks them. Oh, hold on, bud. But that's a nice little pond largie, though. Not a bad fish at all, you guys. Not a bad fish at all. Get him back in the water and try to get us another one. Just step up. I want to catch his grandfather instead. There you go, bud. Man, he had some stride to him. That was a treat. That was a nice little largie. Very nice little fish. Fought it too, man. He brought that thing all the way down to the bottom. He was not giving up. That thing was taking drag until I brought him up over the vent here. Or the sewer, whatever you want to call this thing. Yeah, sure enough, you know, I changed colors and I was able to catch a little bit of a bigger size largie here. So, you know, always try something new too, guys. You know, don't be afraid to try something new. If you think something's gonna work and you're not, you know, you're getting bites on it, but then you're just being conservative and you think, oh, you know, I don't want to try anything else because it might not work. Well, yeah, it just goes to show you that was a much better size than what I caught recently. So, you know, goes to show you. There he goes. There he goes. Oh, that's another nice one. Ah, that was another nice size one. That's not a bad largie. I think this one has a little more girth. Oh my God. Relax, bud. Relax, buddy. Oh, he just came off. Man, well, thank you, Mr. Largie. Didn't even have to get the hook out of you. Look at that, you guys. Very nice bass. Not the biggest in the world, but they are little fighters. I will tell you what. Very nice little pond bass. There you go, bud. You're all right.